Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Somali Gupta, Faculty of English, Government VYT, PG Autonomous College, Durg. Today we are going to do a wonderful essay. The name of the essay is On Doing Nothing, and this essay has been written by J.B. Presley. The paper is included in semester 2 as paper 3rd, and this is in the course of Hemchand Yadav University, Durg. Now, this is our author, John Boynton Presley, born on 13 September 1894 in Bradford, Yorkshire in England, and he died on 14th August 1984 in Alveston near Stratford upon Avon, Warwickshire. The reason I'm giving you these details are you must understand that he was essentially a British writer, brought up in the British countryside. So what we will see in his essay will reflect a lot of the place where he was born and brought up. So now about the author and his style. As I said earlier, Presley was a British novelist, a playwright, and an essayist. He was noted for his varied input, and his art of characterization made him very popular. That is, he used to write very nice characters for his plays. He was known more for his plays than for his essays. His wit and insight into human nature helped him draw remarkable characters and incidents for his plays. His ability to write his essays in an easy storytelling way reminds us of other prose writers like Stevenson in his Walking Tours or Hazlitt's style in On Going a Journey. Now, regarding the style of writing, all prose writers have a distinctive style of writing, and that is why in questions often the prose style is asked. In his essays, Presley shows a deep and delightful insight into human behavior. While expounding his thoughts, he uses humor and satire in equal measures to drive home his point. For example, in this essay, he says that while he and his artist friend had been lazing idly in the moors, totally oblivious of the world, some Mr. Gordon Selfridge was busy denouncing them. Sarcastically, he writes, when and where he had been denouncing us, we do not know. Nor do I know what hilarious company had invited and received his conferences. But I do know that he said that he hated laziness and more than anything else held it the greatest sins. I have forgotten his reasons and instances, and to be frank, would count it a disgraceful waste of time to discover again what they were. Now for the title of the essay. As the title suggests, the essay is about doing nothing. But more importantly, it is about relaxing. In the debate over what is more important in life, work or relaxation, the writer has recommended relaxation and then quoted the benefits of it too. He encourages creativity and innovation, de-stresses the mind and promotes mental health, he vouches. This is as necessary for human life as work is. Spending time in leisurely activities is rejuvenating, and he wishes world leaders would do the same before taking important decisions. Now for the essay. At the very beginning of the essay, Presley says, there is no better lounging place than a moor. He describes the moor and the benefits of lazing there, looking into the changing patterns of the clouds and the tinted horizons. But what is a moor? We don't have moors in India. So it's important to understand that moors exist in Europe, especially in Ireland, in England. So what is a moor? And that's why I have a couple of pictures here. Moor is an extensive uncultivated highland. Moorlands are the most extensive areas of semi-natural vegetation in the British Isles. Can have water, lowlands with water too. Okay, so now this is a typical moor. As you can see that it's a highland, it has certain lowlands too, and maybe up there in certain places you could find a little bit of water. Now, this is a panoramic view. It gives you a large view in this whole picture. So this is what a moor looks like. And this is where Presley and his friend used to go and lie. Look at the sky, look at the stars, look at the clouds forming various shapes, and would feel completely relaxed. They would spend the whole day there, eat something, drink a little, and be extremely happy and relaxed when they came down. And when they came down, they usually found that people have been gossiping about them, saying that they are very lazy and they don't do any work. But it didn't bother people like Selfridge. It didn't bother Presley. He thought it was their call, and hence he wrote this essay on doing nothing to tell us why at times doing nothing is so important. Like he said earlier, it gives us the power to innovate, to create new things. It relaxes and de-stresses our mind. But further on, let us see what are the things he says in this essay. The author says, that is Presley says, that people often think that taking a break and doing nothing means being lazy, but it is not. Everybody today has started to think they are actually incapable of being lazy because the whole society has started to value only work. This is leading to excessive stress. All of us are involved in a rat race, valuing achievement more than mental peace, work more than relationships. He insists on a world outside work life, which should be full of leisurely activities and pastimes, and this world must exist parallelly with our work life. Presley advises spending time with nature, as nature not only soothes the mind but also nourishes it. It helps us regain our mental health and work better and more efficiently once we get back. Now, the theme of the essay. The central theme of the essay is peace of mind. How do we have peace of mind? Because that is the most important thing in this world. He talks about how he finds peace of mind by lazing around in the moors of Yorkshire with his delightfully lazy artist friend. He also thinks that people like Selfridge, who are incapable of appreciating repose, are envious of those who are considered to be lazy. Selfridge seems to thrive on admonishing the lazy, whereas Presley thinks that he too would do well if he took time off. That is, Selfridge should also take some time off, go and relax, and then he wouldn't be so bitter, so critical, so judgmental about people. Promoting laziness, Presley says, if half of the politicians of Europe would relinquish the notion that laziness is a crime and go away and do nothing for a little space, we would certainly gain by it, because then they would be calm, they would take correct decisions, they wouldn't be so stressed out, and then whatever decisions they make would be for the good of people. He even criticizes the religious conferences where he thinks people gather to discuss futile things like condemning the length of ladies' skirt and noisiness of dance bands, and that they would do better lying flat on their back somewhere, staring at the sky and recovering their mental health. So even these religious conferences he's not in favor of. He says they are worthless because people really don't do anything valuable for people. All they do is criticize mundane and useless things. So it is better that they go and relax somewhere, look at the sky, and regain their mental health, come back healthier in the mind. It becomes clear as to what his views are regarding these religious conferences. He strongly feels that all evil in the world is brought by persons who are always up and doing, but do not know when they ought to be up nor what they ought to be doing. They're not really very sure as what they should do, but they're constantly doing things just for the sake of doing things, not with a purpose. He writes, the devil I take, is still the busiest creature in the universe. And I can quite imagine him denouncing laziness and becoming angry at the smallest waste of time. In his kingdom, I will wager, nobody is allowed to do nothing, not even for a single afternoon. Presley thinks that the world is a muddle, and that is because of the misdirected, fussy people who are overstrained and hence incapable of making sensible decisions. He gives examples from World War I and the peace conference in 1918. He says that things might have been different if the decision makers had then taken a break from their normal duties. He blames America for bringing in the notion that being lazy is a sin. Because America is a prosperous country, people tend to follow what they do. But as most of the writers are satirists, we can make an assessment as to how their society must be. And sarcasm doesn't come out from happy people. In the last section of the essay, he draws on Wordsworth, Whitman, and Thoreau in support of his views. He says that they must have had lazy streaks in them, and that is what made them successful. Laziness sparks creativity is a proven thing, and the sooner we realize this, the better. He ends the essay with a proclamation: the whole world would be better off if it spent every possible moment it could lying flat on its back on a moor, doing nothing. The importance of repose. Repose is when you have worked and then you're taking a break and you are rejuvenating and you're gathering your energies to come back. The irony is that not many people realize the value of lazing. They are spending their lives without realizing that they are missing out on the nurturance nature can provide. He does not instruct us against work. That is, Presley does not instruct us against work. Work is necessary and important, but taking a break is just as important. The perfect work and pastime is what today called work-life balance. It's a corporate jargon that keeps cropping up time and again, that one must have a work and a life balance. Things done in moderation will only make us better. Now for the importance of the play. As a piece of literature, this essay, true to its title, does what it is expected to do. It enriches us, sustains and guides us towards a better and enriched lifestyle, and will help us in periods when we are alone and have nothing to do. Health does not come from medicines. Most of the time, it comes from peace of mind, peace in the heart, and peace of soul. It comes from laughter and love. Thus, with this essay, we learn the power of reflective practice, ways to relax our minds, and the art of doing nothing. Now, it is very ironical that we should be doing this essay today, because today when the world has closed down because of a certain virus, COVID-19, we are staying at home most of the time. And many of us would say that we are spending our time lazily, but we are actually enriched by many experiences which we would not have had otherwise. So there are many things that have emerged in us. We have learned, we have realized the important lesson that the world is one. We may divide ourselves with certain geographical boundaries, but beyond the boundaries also, whatever affects somebody in some corner of the world ultimately comes and affects us too. And this realization, this oneness is a huge learning that we have had. We have had the time to spend time with our loved ones. We have had the time to listen to people whom we haven't heard for a very, very long time. So in a strange way, this close down and this essay kind of form a connection for me. And I think as readers, as students, you too will have a certain say on this essay on doing nothing. Now, let us very quickly look at the essays that come. Now, why does Presley say that there is no better lounging place than the moors? Because Presley essentially was born in England where there are moors. And moors are actually natural lands where no cultivation has taken place. Nobody has tampered with it with any kinds of farming or anything else. So they're quite natural. And when you see something so natural, you're so close to nature, and you're lying and watching the clouds which are changing their shapes, and you're totally on your own doing what you want to do. There is no pressure. There is no kind of a pressure to do anything. That's the best place to relax. That's the best place to be with yourself. Discuss the central theme of the play is another question that's asked, and the central theme is here, as I discussed earlier, the peace of mind, how to relax, how to gain sanity, how to gain mental health, how to learn the value of doing nothing. I've also given in the first part of the essay a short note on Presley's prose style. If you can write that, that should be enough. I think I have covered what I wanted to say. I have said what I wanted to say. It would have been really nice if this was a classroom and I could interact with the students face to face, and then we could have had a discussion on what is it what is this that the essay meant to them, and how is it that they relate to this. But thank you very much for listening to this essay. Stay safe and stay well. Thank you very much.